Welcome back to another segment of the MCR. Mac is to my left. My name is TJ. Just a couple regular guys going on a political rant here, I guess. Last week I spoke about a Canadian convoy and the fact that it was 43 miles long with 50,000 trucks, and I had referenced how even cars were getting in on it. Well, we've had a few additional participants in this protest. The protest where the police were referring to it as using dangerous language, if you recall.
Yeah, because the police get to decide that, right?
The Prime Minister in hiding, and I find this interesting. This is a slight development. He was in hiding. The word was that he was quarantining himself, yet the news reports were twice he had been found COVID-free, only for them to say, oh, he does have COVID.
They're running cover for him, in other words.
You know what? Whether or not this guy actually tested positive, I don't know. I do know that at the time the convoy arrived in Ottawa, it had been made known that he was quarantining, yet tested negative twice. You know what? At this point, you can't believe anything anyone says from any government. And I'm going to say any government because while we are talking about the Canadian government, there are implications of U.S. involvement too, which we're going to touch on here.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Canadian Prime Minister found them to be exhibiting unacceptable behavior. Okay, so here we got some developments here. I forget the figure offhand, but I want to say like $10 million in GoFundMe.
Something like that.
Yeah. I mean, millions and millions of dollars in GoFundMe. So what does GoFundMe do? At the behest of the Canadian government.
Yeah.
It was found out at the behest of the Canadian government, GoFundMe locks their account.
Yeah.
And initially...
And then starts distributing the money.
Yes. They would not send it to the intended receiver, and initially, nor would they refund the money. Well, then, after multiple complaints, and this is where the plot thickens, 3 states here in the U.S., because we're talking about the Canadian convoy, but 3 states in the U.S., their attorney generals, Missouri, Florida, Georgia, said, you know what, we're going to launch an investigation into you, GoFundMe. And that shook them up enough where, we'll start giving back we're going to refund.
Because if they can take it, they can give it back.
Yeah.
It's all digital.
So, and so here we got 3 states in the United States looking into donations to an event held in Canada. So now we're talking about an international event here.
Right.
Is really, and it's worse than that. It gets worse than that. It appears the Ottawa police teamed up with the FBI to launch enhanced intelligence operations and investigations against the truckers of the Freedom Convoy. So now we got our FBI getting involved in this Canadian protest,
which they have no business being.
And I thought, what the heck? I thought FBI was domestic.
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
So it just, like I say, the plot thickens. Now, a little bit of comical. I find comical. Yeah, that's an inside joke. He'll determine what's comical. Okay. So what I find comical here is the police were telling the truckers to move their vehicles, and they said, And they said, oh yeah, well, we'll tow your vehicles. And so they called some tow truck companies, and no, we're not gonna tow their vehicles. So these towing agencies are getting in on the action, telling the police.
Well, they're dragging people into it who wouldn't otherwise. It's almost like the Let's Go Brandon thing. Had that female reporter not lied and said they were saying Let's Go Brandon, it would have went nowhere.
So they call these towing agencies, and the towing agencies are going, we're not. It gets better, okay. You had some cowboys, and I don't know what organization they're with, but you had guys on horseback joining the convoy. Okay, so you got Canadian cowboys on horseback joining the convoy. You remember this started with semis,
right?
And then there were cars, and the tow trucks kind of got
and the
involved,
multitudes of people on the side of the road cheering them on.
Thousands and thousands and thousands.
And then they told those people they can't do that either. So apparently you're not allowed to protest in Canada. You just need to shut up and sit down and take whatever medicine they give you in the literal sense.
But it gets even better. We have more comical news to reveal here. Farmers, Canadian farmers, and their huge tractors. And this is no little John Deere, I'll tell you.
Yeah, I've seen them. In living in the country, I've seen
these things will drive over cars damn near. But Canadian farmers were attempted to join the convoy, and the police attempted roadblocks. In other words, they blocked off the roads. Oh, what do these farmers do? They go cross country the way these tractors are designed, and they did it very easily because there's video of that where and we're not talking one farmer. It was quite a few farmers wishing to join in the protest, and as they approach the roadblock, they just veer off onto the shoulder, and in seconds, I mean, like that, got around them, and all the police did was stand there and watch them. Also, there does appear to be some sympathy of the law enforcement because, let me see if I can get this right. The Ottawa police chief warns police officers if they give food or water to protesting truckers, he will investigate and use criminal code if necessary to go after them. So if you're a police officer, don't even show any support for these guys. You got to toe the line, or in fact, you'll be fired.
I would encourage them to do a blue flu thing and walk off the job and let it go. You know what? Call in sick. Don't come into work. Don't say anything about it. Just do that and let them suffer the consequences.
Now, we mentioned earlier about how GoFundMe had shut down the account for the truckers. Another company, and what I read, and I only know what I read, so hopefully what I read is truthful and accurate, but there is an organization with ties to Christian organizations, and it's called, I want to get the name here correctly, all right, hold on a minute. Give, Send, Go. Give, Send, Go. Sorry about that, everyone. Give, Send, Go is going to pick up the slack for GoFundMe. And they've got over $1 million for these guys now after picking up the slack for GoFundMe. Give, Send, Go.
GoFundMe needs to go away.
So sorry about that, everyone. These were I kind of read the headlines from the Gateway Pundit, because Gateway Pundit, it was almost like they were given continual updates on the way this was playing out, and like I said, start off with trucks. Well, then cars were joining. Next thing you know, it's over 43 miles long. You got a massive traffic jam in Ottawa there. The police are blocking roads. The farmers are driving around it on the train. Got cowboys on horseback joining the convoy. It's just, it just keeps getting better and better.
Well, the people are fighting back.
They're tired of it.
Much to my delight. Much to my delight.
And this is what happens. This is what happens when you stick it to Joe. So.
Well, here's the thing, though. You mentioned the FBI involvement. The FBI, they were as big a part of January 6th as anybody.
Yeah.
And then they're going to go around calling people domestic terrorists and that Nazi bastard Merrick Garland, and that is a bad guy. He does not belong in public office, and he sure as hell didn't belong on the Supreme Court, because he is scum.
Yeah. One of the few things I guess Mitch did right, huh?
Yeah.
So
You got that one right.
Yep, that's it. Thanks everyone for hanging tough if you're still watching. And we'll catch you in the next segment. And as always, be safe, watch your six, and don't tread on me.